There you go. You see the meeting is now being recorded by the host. So mae'n bwysig iawn, os da chi ddim yn eisiau cael eich recordio chi, please diffoddwch eich fideo a dileuwch eich enw ar y restr. Okay, if you don't want to be recorded, please make sure you turn off your video and remove your name down there. You can stop the video in the bottom left. Okay, ydyn ni'n barod? Are we ready? I think we might just be. So, fel dwedes I, croeso cynnes iawn I chi gyd, a very, very, very warm welcome to these awards tonight for the Community Land Advisory Service, Cymru. And we're going to be travelling all over this wonderful country. Yes, at times we will be asking you to stay on mute until the end. We'll be unmuting some of the participants when we give out the awards, but so you'll see social farms and garden staff will also be attending with various tasks in the background, because as you can imagine, it's quite a feat to bring everybody together. So, croeso, ar heno, dyn ni'n mynd I dathlu 15 prosiect o bob cwr o Gymru yn gwneud defnydd gorau o dir yn eu cymunedau. So that's the purpose of tonight. Tonight we are celebrating 15 community projects right the length and breadth of Wales that are making the best use of land in their communities. And to kick us off, I'd like to introduce you to the Community Land Advisory Service Cymru coordinator, who's been such a big part of putting all this together. Quite a team, but here's Lucy Taylor, the coordinator of Community Land Advisory Service Cymru.
Thank you, Mike. Just wanted to say a few words and thanks. The Community Land Advisory Service has been operating in Wales under the management of social farms and gardens for nearly 9 years. In 2013, we were funded by the National Lottery for 5 years. Then in 2018, Landscape and Outdoor Recreation Division of Welsh Government kindly offered us funding. This funding means we are able to provide all types of advice and resources around access to land, from gaining a lease to applying for planning permission. This is the first time we have hosted the CLAS Awards online, and I would really like to thank you all for joining us this evening. The awards for me are the aim of the awards, I should say, for me, are to bring to life the value of nature-based activities community volunteers undertake on their green space projects. And we could not have done that as successfully in this online format tonight without the cooperation of the awardee projects, who have provided us with some truly inspiring short films. So thank you very much to them. I'd also like to thank the staff team here in Wales, who have been invaluable in getting the awards organised, and to our field workers, Celia, Jasmine, Nikki and Witch Hazel, for helping the awardees complete their resilience plans. Our host this evening, who you have already met, is Mike Parker. Mike is a writer and broadcaster based in Mid Wales, whose travel writing takes him all over Europe. I've been enjoying his recent book, The Red Hill, Rhw Goch. And if you are interested in finding out more, please do check out his website, mikeparker.org.uk. Mike describes himself as Cymro o Ddawys, a Welshman by choice. And we are really grateful he has agreed to host our community awards this evening. Over to you, Mike.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Lucy. That was lovely. So good to hear a little bit more about what's going on and what's going to be happening tonight. And it is a real honour to be here to celebrate with you all the achievements of all these different community projects and community land projects in particular. The things that you've grown, things that you've planted, the landscapes that you are part of. Because I think, you know, Wales is so much defined by its landscapes. I've been writing about Wales now for 30 years. And I've written all kinds of different things about it. So I've travelled left, right and centre. And one of the things, as somebody who's moved here, one of the things that I was very, very, very aware of is just how much more kind of intimate the connection is between land and communities here in Wales than I've ever found anywhere else. There's a phrase in Welsh, and then now Sam Lay, the sense of place, for which you have hiraeth, for which you have this kind of longing. So, there's expressions in the Welsh language which are only in the Welsh language, which pertain to this deep, deep, deep connection with place and with nature. And of course, as we know now at the moment, we're seeing, in the climate emergency that we're facing, we know that if we lose that connection, if we scupper it in some way or other, then we will be in serious trouble. And that's the challenge that we all face. So we all have to do our bit, and all the people here tonight certainly are. But of course, beyond the climate crisis, it's also been such a difficult 10, 15 years for so many different people, of economic difficult times, of austerity, of the pandemic, the strife going on globally now, and the war in Ukraine especially is in everybody's mind. So, these are really, really difficult times, but I am absolutely confident that Wales, as it's often described, is as a community of communities, and that's the really important thing. It all starts at the bottom level of the ladder, if you like, and from that we can kind of build up, and Wales is very good at that, and it's exactly what the world needs more of at the moment. So, what you're doing is so hugely important. Another one of my favourite expressions about Wales comes from the late great Jan Morris, and she always called it a very kind country, gwlad gyfeillgar, gwlad garedig iawn. And it absolutely is. I think these projects demonstrate that so well. And of course, they help us dig into the soil, help us produce food. So it really is a win-win all round. Mi ddechreuodd gwobr rheoli cymunedol gwasanaeth cynghoriadur cymunedol Cymru yn 2019, a fygathu redeg gan ffermydd a gerddi cymdeithasol i gydnabod gwaith rheoli cymunedol o lefydd gwyrdd. The Community Land Advisory Service Cymru Community Management Awards began in 2019 and are run by Social Farms and Gardens to acknowledge the community management of green spaces and the hard work that goes into them and the benefits that result. And these green spaces include all kinds of vegetated land, such as community gardens and parks, orchards, woodlands and hedges, informal green spaces, allotments, and other growing sites such as wildflower meadows. And to achieve the Community Management Green Space Award, groups have to show that they are insured, they're involving the community in their decision-making, and are working with their landowners. Then they have to complete a site resilience plan, which helps to provide a seal of approval for future funders and demonstrates their wellbeing credentials to the people in the Senedd, in line with the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act Wales 2015. So the format tonight is that we'll be showing the films provided by 15 of the award winners, and then they've shot them themselves, but we're going to split them into 4 clusters of geographical regions. So there'll be 3 4s and 1 3. And then a few minutes to say hello to some of the groups after each cluster. Midway through, we're going to have a message of hello and support from the Deputy Minister for Climate Change in the Senedd, Lee Waters, MS, and after which we'll see the rest of the films and meet some of more of the awardees. So, ydych chi'n barod? Ydych chi'n eistedd yn gyfforddus? Are you ready to raise your glasses to the winners? Let's see what you've all been up to. We're going to watch the films, as I say, in clusters. And I've got to say, they are truly very inspiring indeed. And the first cluster we're going to go to is down in southwest Wales. And the projects that have been awarded are the Carmarthenshire Wellbeing Project in Llanelli, the Gardd Ffrwytho a Chynau Cymunedol, the Community Fruit and Nut Garden in Cilgerran, the Ystrad Gunlais Volunteer Centre, and Gardd Erw Dewi, Dewi's Acre Garden in St David's. So we'll roll the film and we'll see from all of them.
We are the Welsh's Carmarthenshire Wellbeing Project. Our allotment is based in Llanelli, Carmarthenshire, and the land is owned by Penllygedlir Trust. Over the autumn-winter months, we've been busy installing the Keep Wells Tidy package, building a greenhouse laying wildflower turf, installing trellis, planting climbing trees, fruit trees and sowing a variety of seeds. We are preparing at the moment, but in the summer months we want to give back to the local community. We're here no matter the weather, but if the weather is too bad, we take comfort in the shed. From creative activities, learning about various gardening methods to just a cup of tea and a chat. This allotment has been a real lifeline for the people we support.
I'm a client of the Welsh and I attend the allotment because I find it very good for my mental well-being. I love being involved with the allotment. I feel part of the community. There's a real community spirit within the allotment. I've met people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. Does make me feel more positive about myself, that I can contribute something. I do have some knowledge of gardening, so I can pass that on. I feel useful and I feel part of something, which is really nice to feel.
Well, I think the most important thing we're growing here is community.
This is the project called Fruit and Nut, just outside Kilgarran, next to the football pitch. This is Pembrokeshire, and this is the County Council land.
O'n i yma yn Clwb Ffrwyth a Chnau yng Nghylgeran, Gogledd Sir Benfro. Dyma map o'r safle a fi nath hon.
So we've got a 5-year licence with the Community Council in Kilgarran to use this piece of land, and we approached them and asked them whether we could use a piece of their land for community growing project. We asked for a piece of land right in the middle of the village, but they were using that for something else, so they offered us this abandoned piece of land which is at the back of the football pitch just outside the village.
Now that we are at a community garden, we get to see lots of people, and sometimes we get to make new friends.
I really like coming for the cake. There's always good cake. And especially, it's a real place to be free. Sometimes you can get stuck in and pull out loads of brambles and feel like you're making a difference. Sometimes it's nice to just sit and enjoy the bird song and have a nice chat and feel listened to and appreciated. It's a great community feeling, and there's some lovely people up here doing some really good stuff, and it's good to be part of that.
Welcome to Gunlai's Volunteer Centre Community Food Growing Garden. The garden has been made possible through a kind donation by Keep Wales Tidy, to whom we are very grateful. Whilst the garden is still in its infancy, as it develops and grows, we intend to utilise it as a valuable resource for the community. We will be offering workshops and courses for all ages, Field to Fork projects for local children incorporating our community cafe, and Agorad Cymru accredited courses in horticulture. The garden will include many native species of plants and shrubs, encouraging wildlife into the garden and allowing the development of a habitat where food crops and native flora and fauna can thrive alongside each other. We intend to include nesting boxes, hedgehog houses and bug hotels, providing breeding and feeding opportunities for local wildlife, and eventually a webcam so that comings and goings can be observed and tracked. We hope this garden will become the focus for community groups and clubs for the residents of Gunlai's and beyond, and be cherished and tended for many years to come.
Wow, what a great start. What a great start. So diolch o galon, we're going to a big wave to all of those 4 from the southwest, to Llanelli, to Cilgerran, to Gydlais and Tiddewi, St David's. That was just a terrific start. What a great taster for the work being done by these groups. I mean, such a variety of stuff. Already we've seen so many different aspects of this. So Southwest folks, diolch o galon. Please wave your awards at us so we can see them. Those of you that we've just seen down in there. Oh wow, look at that. Thank you. Diolch o galon. And we're going to have a quick chat. Unfortunately, we won't have a chance to chat to everybody because time is of the essence tonight. But I'm going to have a quick chat with the Carmarthenshire Wellbeing Project and Steph down there. Now, where are you, Steph? Let's find you. I've just got, this is like the biggest game of celebrity squares ever, which is a bit, that's going to date me very, very quickly. Stephanie, there you are. Hello, Stephanie Latham from Llanelli. Now, I know that the Walich, the project that's behind this is a homelessness charity. So how did people find out about this project and how did it come about?
When I started in my role, we were offered a large plot on a local allotment site, which was very overgrown and unkempt and full of rubbish. So we all worked hard to clear the site and started to try and fund a shed at the end of last August and having drop-in days. And we were lucky enough to be awarded the KWT package. And people could come and have fellowship and gardening. But the project was actually inspired by the need to combat isolation and have meaningful distractive activities and be part of a safe and healthy community for those who've been affected by homelessness in the main or tenancy issues in the past.
Brilliant, diolch, Steph. No, that's fantastic. It's such an important work. I mean, you're touching something there, which I think is going to become quite a theme of the evening. Just how, especially after the last 2 years of the pandemic, everybody's been, so isolated in so many different ways, and I think it's affected us in ways that we probably don't even yet fully appreciate, in truth. So the bringing folk together, especially those who are having such housing problems, that's so important. So diolch o galon I chi gyd yn Llanelli, pob hwyl. So we're going to sustainably shoot our way across Wales now to the next cluster, which is up in the northeast of Wales. And we're going to visit 3 projects there. And those are the Denbigh Men's Shed in, not surprisingly, Dinbych in Denbigh. The Community Heart Productions at Bagillt Community Garden up there in Flintshire. And in Llanfyllin, in my county of Montgomeryshire, although I'm on the other side near Machynlleth, they're over, as I say, in Llanfyllin, that's BRACE, B-R-A-C-E, which stands for Building Resilience Against Climate Emergency. So 3 quick films. Take it away. Diolch yn fawr.
Hi everybody, I'm Nathan. I'm the project director for Denbigh Men's Shed. We've been established here at Treverian in Denbigh since September 2014. One of the most unique features of our shed is that we are situated in 2.1 acres of beautiful gardens and grounds. And we've come to realise that it's having these open spaces and green spaces and natural spaces which really add that extra dimension to what a community shed is all about.
Mae'r gweithdai yn gweithio llaw yn llaw gyda'r gardd ac rydym yn ceisio helpu aelodau i ddatblygu a dysgu sgiliau newydd yn y gweithdai. Rydym yn gweithio gyda metal, pren ac yn ceisio atgywyru pob peth sy'n torri gymaint ag allwn. Mae'n wych chwilio bobl yn cael ymdeimlad o gyflawniad personol o'r gwaith maen nhw'n ei wneud gyda'i dwylo eu hunain ac yr ymdrech maen nhw'n rhoi i fewn i'r gwaith.
I've been coming into for 4 years now, since 2017. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's great to be part of a community that accepts me, and it's great to watch the gardens develop from all the hard work we're doing.
I'm Lynn from Community Health Productions. We work here in Baghill Community Garden and we work with adults with disabilities, we work with the general community and we work especially with young people, teaching them how to grow their own food.
Do we like it here?
Yeah.
We do like it here. It's given us a focus on a Thursday and a Friday morning and we're loving it, thank you.
I like coming to the community gardens because I like doing the things we are doing in it, and I like the things we learn about it.
I'm Alison Alexander, Chair of BRACE, which stands for Building Resilience Against Climate Emergency. The aim of BRACE is to educate people about the climate emergency and to bring community together and give people the skills to be more self-sufficient, resilient in the face of a changing climate. We're based in a town called Llanfyllin in Powys, Mid Wales. We have 4 community spaces around the town. Today we're in the community garden, which is a space behind the Public Institute. We also have permission to use 3 other sites around the town. Somebody's back garden, a small corner of land at the Workhouse, which is a charity on the outskirts of town, and we also care for the community orchard. We also run workshops on food preparation, on preserving, growing food, really giving people the skills to be more self-sufficient.
BRACE does quite a lot in the community in terms of inspiring people to grow food, quite a lot of practical hands-on training about how to produce food and sort of using it afterwards to make the most of it and acting as a kind of a bit of a showcase really.
This garden was a grassy bank,
yeah.
No more. There were no greenhouses behind us, no raised beds.
So within 6 months of starting, we'd created a project which is the community garden.
Diolch yn fawr iawn to all of you. And as you've seen there in the Denby Men's Shed film at the end, in memory of Colin Rogers, who died recently. So I'd like to just take a moment really to think of Colin, to remember Colin, and we saw him there in the film, and to raise our glasses or mugs or whatever you have with us in his memory and in his honour, and we dedicate this evening to him. So, not to do down the achievements, are amazing. I'm going to join now Alison from the BRACE project in Llanfyllin. So this is like Eurovision. This is wonderful. So good evening, Llanfyllin. Machynlleth calling.
Not quite far. Good
evening. How are things there?
Oh, wonderful. It's been a beautiful sunny morning anyway, a bit soggy this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, the projects look amazing, and you've got 4 sites. I mean, for those who don't know Llanfyllin, it's quite a small town, but you've got 4 sites. So can you just briefly share with us how straightforward was it really to get access to 4 sites?
Well, quite easy, really, but it relied on, the legwork of a few people, particularly our community garden leader, Sue Dolman, who you saw at the end of the film there. She and a couple of others went around town and mapped up all the available spaces that they could spot that you could possibly grow food in. The idea was just to grow food in as many places as possible around town. And then they went to the landowners and the Public Institute, which is a building owned by the town, not the county, but the town, was the first to offer the land there, the grassy bank that you heard about. So we have a 3-year rolling lease with them, and then it just wasn't enough space. So the workhouse offered us a patch, and then already a neighbouring landowner had gifted a field to the town for the townspeople to use, and they were given the option of planting an orchard there, and we're now caring for that. And then the fourth space was just somebody's back garden, referred to as the local bramble patch, you know, and they just let Brace look after it.
That's terrific. Well, congratulations. So can we see those 3 organisations from Llanfyllin, from Denbigh, and so I forgot where the other one was. Beg your pardon. Could you all just give us a kind of quick wave now of your awards? That'd be great. Oh, Baggish, sorry, yes. Beg your pardon. Right, congratulations, one and all. Now, as you heard Lucy explain at the beginning, the Welsh Government funds the Community Land Advisory Service programme here in Wales. And the Minister sort of overseeing that area of responsibility is the Deputy Minister for Climate Change, Lee Waters, MS for Llanelli, and he's going to send us a little message. So over to you, Lee Waters, MS.
Hi, I'm Lee Waters and I'm the Deputy Minister for Climate Change, and I'm sorry I can't be with you live, but very keen to underline just how important the work you're doing is to our broader efforts on tackling climate change. You'll be very aware that we not only face a climate emergency, but a parallel nature emergency, and the work that you are doing is at the front line of that. And it helps tackle multiple problems. So as well as tackling those existential crises, it helps as well, clearly, with our day-to-day battle of improving people's well-being and the quality of their local environment. So the work particularly done by Social Farms and Garden and Keep Wales Tidy really is outstanding. And I hope you feel our broader efforts too are beginning to come together to make an impact. Our tree planting scheme, for example, to give every family a free tree, is as much about hearts and minds and engagements as it is about contributing to our overall tree targets. We just need to raise awareness of the importance of a relationship with your local neighbourhood, your nature, and with the biodiversity all around us. And that's why your work is so crucial, and I want to thank you for it. Wish you the best. Wish well to all the people who've been shortlisted, and keep on doing what you're doing. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Hi, I'm Lee Waters.
No, we don't want a politician twice, do we? We really don't. Diolch o galon, Minister. That was really good to hear from him. He's a good one. We're going to be heading down to the southeast corner of Wales now, so Gwent and Glamorgan. And the 4 shortlisted, or the 4 award-winning projects in southeast Wales are as follows. In this order, you'll be seeing little films from Pentref Tulleri in Blaenau Gwent, Keep Creigiau Tidy on the outskirts of Cardiff, the Grace Community Garden in Rumney Hill, also in Cardiff, in the capital, and Star Hub Secret Garden in Tremorfa. So enjoy these.
Hello, I'm Tina.
And I'm Ralph.
And we are 2 of 7 unsalaried directors for Pentref Tulleri,
a community interest company set up to explore community-led models for regeneration
in Tulleri and the wider Tulleri Valley.
2 years ago, we had a community engagement event attended by more than 300 local residents.
And the things that people said they most wanted were
a place to meet outside their homes,
meaningful jobs for young people,
and natural spaces that are looked after.
And with input from the community, we've set up in Tulleri a welcoming third space for local people to meet outside their homes.
We've had funding for jobs for 10 young people at risk of long-term unemployment.
And this winter we'll be planting over 2,000 trees.
But there's so much more to do.
This cafe is a great place now. Yeah, encourage local people walking their dogs. They can call in you. Lovely area out by here. and it's great. It's fantastic.
The dog walkers can bring their dogs, you know, and they're quite happy here. There's so much scope for this place because it's in an area of amazing beauty.
Within Creigiau, we have a lot of public land, either owned by Cardiff Council or by Penta Community Council. So lots of pockets of green spaces, almost all grass, but some little woodland areas. So over the past 2 to 3 years, we've had a programme really where we're trying to do more bulb planting, because that's really affordable, really easy, really safe, and quietly punches above its weight in terms of kind of pollination in spring, but looks great too, and all volunteers can plant bulbs. So within Keep Creigiau Tidy group, we've done quite a little bit of informal tree planting, some Welsh heritage fruit trees that Natural Resource Wales planted. We've done a lot of sort of small-scale sapling, British native saplings that we got from Woodland Trust. They will be tall, they will be producing fruit, and I think you can get a buzz around that. And then all volunteers, it doesn't matter whether they're the litter pickers or community growers or the scouts or the church or the WI, they're all amazing people who want to do things, you know. I think we've all got a bit fed up being indoors watching Netflix, haven't we? In a community like this, it's great to be doing these community-led projects. We don't really expect the councils to do the work for us, but we do need their expertise or their land. And engaging with the community council and the Cardiff Council is getting easier.
Hi, my name's Bev Wynne. I'm the project lead of the Grace Community Garden Project. Grace is an acronym for Gardening, Resilience, Arts and Crafting Community Exercise. We are located in Rumney Hill Gardens, which is a public park. I approached one of the gardeners in February 2019, mentioned that it would be a really good place to start a mental health and wellbeing project. Passed me on to his boss. The rest is history, really. They gave us a piece of land, an existing garden that was a little bit unloved, and we've transformed that. Keep has been coming to our group since June 2019 and has been an active member within the group. Keep, can you tell me what things have you done in our garden?
Working in a garden centre, digging and cutting and painting.
I worked with the garden project now for 2 years as well with the Keep. My dad's just been lovely to meet people from all different walks of life and interact with them. And it's been a privilege and an honour to be part of the project that I think enriches a lot of people's lives.
I feel like my level of happiness has increased because the energy is just amazing around awesome people.
It is quite therapeutic, if I can put it that way. Seeing people coming in, smiling when they come in and just enjoying having a place to rest, just to reminisce about things. It is so amazing.
This is the Star Secret Garden. This community garden was set up back in 2016. We faced a few issues with the project. Most recently was the lockdown. This has meant that we've had to restart the project. We now have funding from Keep Cardiff Tidy, and this is helping towards the project. The main aim is to get the local children growing their own fruit and veg and to offer a well-being area for the local community.
Wow, another fantastic selection there from Southeast. So can we all kind of wave our applause to those 4 projects there? Pentre Teleri, Keep Craig Tidy, the Grace Community Garden, and the Star Hub Secret Garden. Now, I'm going to go to say hi to the people down at Pentre Teleri. I've got to say, I've not got everybody's, I can't see everybody, but I can see Pentre Teleri, and I've got to tell you, they are having the most fun of all the people that I can see in front of me tonight. So good evening, Blaine and Gwent. Hello, Ralph of Pentre Teleri. Give us a cheer from you lot. You did that. Thank you very much. That was such a lovely film and such a great project. Now, Ralph, I know you've recruited quite a few youngsters over the last few months. How's it going on? How are things going?
It's been like herding cats, getting them all to capital areas. And this is just half of them, but they're fabulous, absolutely fabulous. They've done a superb job over the last month. So yes, they weren't enjoying it so much today when we're installing rustic fencing in the rain, but yeah, they've planted thousands of trees. Yeah, wildflower meadows. They're doing a superb job, and it's just the beginning as well. So we have Chloe and Lydia, who are going to be using produce from the garden to get Harrison to deliver soups and stews to people suffering from food insecurity. This gentleman here is working on a community bread oven in the garden. Yeah, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's wonderful to work with young people. They've got so much energy, so many ideas.
You can't see at the back there as well.
Yes, you cannot see, but yes. And Nathan here as well, who is going to be setting up a repair cafe and community workspace very soon.
Wow, congratulations. Well, that's brilliant to see you all. You are having the greatest evening, and I'm quite jealous sitting here on my lonesome, really. So diolch o galon, and best of luck with everything, and keep feeding Teleri district, Aberteileri and district, because that's just such an important thing to be doing right now. Cheers now, thank you. Now, our last trip tonight is going to be meeting the groups from Gogledd Gorllewin from the northwest of Wales. So that's kind of Gwynedd in the main. And dyn ni'n mynd I gweld fideos o gardd gymunedol Pontio'r Cenedlaethau yn Llanal Heiern. So that's Llanal Heiern on the Llyn Peninsula there. And from Ffrindiau'r Caerddol yn Llanberis, o dan yr Wyddfa, right underneath Snowdon there, Llanberis. From Bwyd Bendigedig Rhiwlas, or as they call themselves in English, Incredible Edible of Rhiwlas. And from Gardd Francon, a gardd a randeroedd cymunedol yn Bethesda. So the CLAS Francon allotments and community gardens in Bethesda. So 4 last films to take us to finish the end of this evening's presentations.
Croeso I ardd gymunedol Llanal Heiern, gardd Pontio'r Cenedlaethau, dementia. Mae rhai o'r boards yma wedi cael I gwneud yn Hafod Hedd, canolfan byd I bobl yn dioddau hefo dementia, yn byw efo dementia, a mae rhai wedi cael I gwneud gan plant Llanal Heiern. This is the formal bit of the garden that was designed with people with mobility problems in mind. Fel ydych chi'n gweld, mae gennym ni 3 gwely uchel yma. Mae gennym ni dŷ gwydr. Mae gennym ni dipyn o goed ffrwythau wedi plannu'n fan hyn, a da ni hefyd wedi plannu coed eraill. Mae gennym ni le I roi mefus. Work has already started on our extension. This is our new site. The
3 raised beds are in place.
Elephant garlic di hwn, a broccoli di hwn. Da ni'n dysgu am cysylltiad rhwng tyfu hein a byd natur.
About 7 years ago, a group of dog walkers and their friends got together because we all really loved being in this meadow, in this site. When we started managing it, it was a sheep and horse grazed field, there was very little to see, and there was only about 8 species of vascular plant or flowering plant per square metre. We're now in a position, having just very subtly managed it, cutting it once a year, quite late in the year, where we've got up to 30 species per square metre. One of the first things that we wanted to do when we started raising money for Caerthol was to create some interpretation that would encourage people to come into the meadow. We didn't want to put that interpretation actually in the meadow, so we put it here next to the children's play park.
Croeso i bwyd bendigedig Rhiwlas. Angharadwy. Daru ni dechrau grŵp bwyd bendigedig Rhiwlas yma yn polytunnel ysgol Rhiwlas. Ac yn wreiddiol, grŵp o'n i oedd efo plant yn yr ysgol oedd wedi dod at ein gilydd i tyfu bwyd efo'r plant, i wneud sesiynau garddio efo nhw, i gwirfoddoli i wella tir yr ysgol er mwyn lles ein plant sy'n hynna'n. Ers yn dechreuad, da ni wedi cael hwb trwy cael pecyn o offer garddio gan Cadwch Cymru'n daclus. A oedd hynny'n di cynnwys tŷ gwydr newydd, grafel i wneud llwybra, da ni wedi cael storfa offer newydd, da ni wedi cael llwyth o bethau fedrai'n hyd yn oed restru, oedd o fel magic porridge pot. Yn ogystal â hynny, da ni wedi gwneud cysylltiadau efo'r pentre, efo'r neuadd pentre, a efo'r cymdeithas tai a'r cyngor i cael garddio yn llefydd cyhoeddus yn y pentre sy'n dod â buddion i bawb. A dewch efo fi a na i ddangos chi. Yma yn y parc, da ni wedi dechrau plannu strip o blodau gwyllt. Mae yna gwrych o coed cynhenid fel cysgod ar ochr arall y parc yma. A hefyd coed fala bach a fydd yn rhoi ffrwytha mewn blynyddoedd i ddod.
Be da ni'n trio wneud yn fama ydy tyfu bwyd mwyn helpu'r gymuned, dim just i gael bwyd ffres, ond hefyd i ddysgu sgiliau garddio, achos mae'n sgil sy'n rhaid bwysig a da ni eisiau bod yn fwy cynhaliol a fysa neis i wneud hynna efo'n gilydd.
It's great for me because I live up the hill and it's even windier up the hill and I only have 5 minutes walk to come to the allotment.
Mae mor braf cael bod yma a rhoi rhywbeth yn ôl, nid yn unig i'r gymuned, ond i'r ddaear, a enwedig adeg yma'r flwyddyn, tra da ni'n edrych amdano Gwanwyn. Mae plannu coed yn rhywbeth mor llesol i'r enaid.
Pan nathon ni ddechrau yma flwyddyn dwytha, oedd o jyst yn gau gwyrdd. A mae yna flodau bendigedig wedi dod i fyny. Mae yna berllan fach, mae yna wely'r cerlysia, a da ni eisiau plannu blodau hefyd mwyn denu prillwyr.
Dwi'n cofio pan nes i'r ysgol yn Dyffryn Ogwen o fan'na, sawl blwyddyn nôl. Jyst cael oedd o fan hyn, wedyn do'n am byd dros y 30 mlynedd dwytha. Ond beth da ni wedi wneud fel rhan o'r prosiect ydy creu lle i bobl i gymdeithasu, i dyfu pethau, ac yn hafan i fywyd gwyllt. Mae yna lwyth o goed i'r peillwyr, mae yna floda yma, mae yna lwyth o bethau gwahanol.
Wel, diolch o galon i chi gyd yn yr gogledd gorllewin yna. And just got to say as well, a big thank you. I think it was Tate Community Music and Film up in the Northwest as well as Old Colwyn, who did all the, helped with the films, but also did the maps tonight. And as a map addict, in fact, as the author of a book called Map Addict, I've got to tell you that I think maps are absolutely beautiful and they've really helped smooth us along tonight. So we have a big hello and a wave, diolch o galon ac llongyfarchiadau i pawb yn y gogledd gorllewin. Da iawn. And I'm going to be meeting up, these are the final awardees tonight. So gyfarfod olaf ydy efo Judith. Judith, hello, yn Gardd Francon Bethesda. Lle dach chi te? Dyma chi. Hello, Judith. No? Have you unmuted, Judith? Dwi ddim yn siŵr am yr Cymraeg am unmute.
Dwi'n gobeithio.
Hello, Judith. Judith Kaufman. Noswaith dda, diolch o galon am ymuno â ni. Mae'r lle yn edrych yn bert iawn yn y canol y mynyddoedd yn Bethesda. So, chi'n medru esbonio pwy sy'n bia'r tir a sut gasoch chi ganiatad i'w defnyddio? How did you come across the land and how did you get permission to use it?
Wel, mae'r ardd ar dir byw yn iach, bobl sy'n rhedeg y canolfannau hamdden yng Ngwynedd. So it's the land of the leisure centre people in Gwynedd. Ac oedden nhw yn reit awyddus i wneud gerddi mwyn cynnig gweithgareddau corfforol sydd ddim yn y gym a dim dan do. Ac oedden ni fel mudiad yn awyddus i wneud bethau amgylcheddol a garddio. A chwarae teg, oedden nhw yn wneud lot o'r cysylltu efo cyngor sir sydd dal yn berchen y tir, ond da ni rwan wedi cael prydles.
So mae'n really wneud gwahaniaeth i bawb, mae'n amlwg ar y ffilm, sut cymaint o wahaniaeth mae'n wneud.
So do you want me, I can say that again
yes.
in Saesneg?
Oh, okay, sorry, yes, for those of you di-Gymraeg, yeah, please do.
So it's the leisure centres who own the land, but through the county council, and they were quite keen to have something to offer people as physical activity that's not in a gym and not under a roof. And it's actually next week that we've got our first National Exercise Referral Scheme group coming to the garden. So that'll be the new chapter now, that it's actually beginning to be what we wanted it to be.
It looks wonderful on the film. So, well, llongyfarchiadau I chi gyd, and many thanks for joining us tonight. And for those of the Northwest, can we see you waving your awards, please? That's what we're all about tonight, of course. Yeah, well done. Diolch o galon, diolch Judith, a poblwch I chi gyd yn Bethesda. Well, we've seen all of the clusters now. We've seen all 15 films from all over Wales. What an impressive lineup they are. And I think you will, I hope, feel as inspired. Well, you will. You can't not feel inspired and enthused and really wowed by the work that's been going on and the commitment that people are putting in all over the place. It's quite amazing. And I think tonight has showcased, such important work, such fantastic work on the land. And it's helped us all just get a few ideas. I'm sure there's plenty of inspiration been taken from other people's projects, by the projects themselves, looking at what other people are doing. It really helps to share ideas, share inspiration. So I know that some of you, it's obvious, have had quite a journey to accessing land in the first place, but it really has paid off. These are amazing projects, and they are not just changing your communities and changing the nature and the access that people have to the land, but they're changing the lives of the people involved. And may this be the seed that fruits into so many new projects up and down Wales and beyond. So it's a huge diolch o galon I chi gyd, a huge llongyfarchiadau hefyd I bawb, from me, from the people at Social Farms and Gardens. Thank you so much, and a huge well done. And our final message tonight comes from someone from Spring Watch, Autumn Watch, Country Fire and all the rest of it, and that's the TV presenter Kate McRae. She says, I would love to wish awardees all my congratulations for the wonderful work they are doing, and congratulations for creating places for wildlife and communities to flourish. Of course, that's another part, we haven't even really talked about it yet, but the wildlife implications of this. As we touched briefly on some of the projects they have about the climate emergency, but the importance of bringing wildlife into our towns and villages and throughout the land. So dyna ni, that's the end of this evening's. A huge thanks to all of the people at Social Farms and Gardens and Community Land and Action Land Advisory Service. They have helped this happen tonight. Thank you so much for all of you for joining us, for being such worthy awardees. And I think we can unmute everybody and have a huge, big, rousing CLAS Awards cheer. So nos da, diolch o galon, and make some noise.
That's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Well done, guys.
Like a focus.
Really inspirational.
Perfect. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Diolch.
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 Fawr. Well.